everybody. Welcome to Justice Served Daily. I'm doing another exposed top child predator. This is person spotlight number 2. And I do want to give a content warning. This is disturbing information. And I will go ahead and give you a minute if that stuff bothers you to please exit this very quick video. Again, it's only spotlighting the predator themselves. So I don't know why it wants me to do this, but I'm going to do it a different way. I hope everybody's doing well. There we go. That's why. And let's take a look at this horrific case. All right, this is a 23-year-old Adrian, Michigan man who is accused of possessing CSAM, including an image of a dead infant with a rope around her neck. Talks about that he will remain in jail until the federal judge decides if the suspect will qualify for bail. Isn't that, I don't understand how that's even a question, but it was. So his name is Sean GOSSMANN. He was arrested at his home in Sterling Estates Mobile Home Park that is in Michigan. And the investigation that began in early of November of 13 in Cambridge Township by Police Chief Larry Wibler. And the investigation was launched because a kid found a computer thumbnail drive on November 12th at a park. So the kid basically goes home and gives the thumbnail to the parents, and the parents open it up and see that it is filled with images. And so they contact the authorities right away. And people, when he was saying about the image that was on there, they had no idea where the picture was taken at the time. And that he said that there was no indication that the dead infant or any of the other children that appeared in the photos were from the area. I don't know that that feels better. Who cares what area they're from? The FBI declined to discuss the photos. You'll see in here that what happens is that, just like I've kind of shared with some other CSAM cases, they will go, it is done local. They try to identify the victims. Then they will try to contact the victims and victims' parents and see and find out what is going on. And then those can be local charges. And then when you get to more severe or transporting and sharing across state lines or countries, then that's when, the FBI is involved in that. So they said that the authorities haven't found any evidence to indicate that he was preying on children in the park, but said that that remains a concern. We believe that he dropped this thumb drive out out there in the park. We don't know what he was doing out there, but it's very suspicious. It concerns me that someone carrying around something that sick would be out in the park. No kidding. And the Cambridge Township Police finally set up a surveillance around the park. They're basically looking if somebody came to pick up the USB drive. Using the park as an exchange. They just drop it. They tell them where they dropped it, and then the person's going to go out there and look for it, right? But the kid picked it up instead. So the Cambridge officers then asked the FBI, Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, to help with the police department as well. So it talked about that the search warrant obtained on April 5th. Now I want you guys to think about that distance in time that happened from November all the way till April. So they finally do this search warrant. They take several other computers. They have, from his house. They also had like disk drives, other USBs that they ended taking from his trailer home. And in those that they did say that photos of him is with this infant. And that it talked about that there was a bag on her head, a rope around her neck. And it said that a message indicating that she had been raped, according to the FBI. He said during the police interview, or during the police investigation, there was over 1,039 images of child pornography, including images depicting bestiality, torture, and one apparent dead child in bondage, that they were found on this portable drive, and that he was identified in these photos. Remember, he's a 23-year-old kid. And then after wrapping up their part of the investigation in December, so we're in a whole nother, we're in this whole other part now, then that evidence was turned over to the FBI for further analysis. And that, GOSSMANN did admit that he had downloaded child pornography. Well, no kidding. So the complaint did talk of that happened was that 2 laptop computers, several compact discs and DVDs, and 3 thumbnails were found. And this was, I know this is like totally disturbing, but this is what kind of stuff floats out there. So let me show you the news that came out when he got busted here. I can show you. Let me make sure I switch this over, because if I don't, do it this way, it won't do it right. All right, let me show you this.
Story. The FBI has arrested this man from Adrian after finding more than 1,000 child pornography images right on his computer.
7 Action News investigator Heather Cataldo is live in the newsroom tonight. Heather, it sounds like a pretty disturbing case.
It does. Sean GOSSMANN faced a magistrate today in federal court, and according to this FBI complaint, he has admitted to having these images on his computer thumb drives. The FBI agent who investigated GOSSMANN said in court records that among the child pornography images, they discovered a picture of a baby that appeared to be deceased. The description of what was in that photograph is just too graphic to explain here, and it is not clear at this point where that particular photograph is from. Last November, one of GOSSMANN's thumb drives was found in a park near Adrian and turned over to local police. When they realized what was on the drive, the feds got involved. The FBI says they also found child porn movies on GOSSMANN's thumb drive, in addition to more than 1,000 illegal images. GOSSMANN is in custody tonight, but the 24-year-old was living in the Sterling Estates mobile home park in Adrian. Court records show that GOSSMANN was also using a special software system that can mask where someone has been on the internet. When GOSSMANN was in federal court today, his hair was dyed bright red and he appeared to be wearing a women's camisole top. He has been charged with receiving and possessing child pornography. GOSSMANN will stay locked up until a detention hearing that's scheduled for Monday. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Heather Catallo, 7 Action News.
Yeah, the story, the FBI.
So, you know, when you talk, usually when I bring up about any of these cases, it's, you know, so many of them are, all of them are disturbing, period, no matter what you do. But there's certain ones out there that are easy to say they're a highlighted predator. And we have so many more that are being busted. This guy was out of Michigan. The first one that I did was a guy out of California who had reached all over the country and in other countries. But this type of material being out there, parents should be aware of. So I will disturb my peace of mind and my stomach for all in order to kind of find out this information and find out what people are sharing and doing, because I think people need to know. And, you know, when you think of that type of images and stuff like that, you would not think that you're going to have somebody at the age of 23 who is doing this and who is also using software so that basically they're trying to prevent for people to find that they're downloading things, that they're sharing things and that type of thing, because there is a way to do that. And these criminals share information, share techniques and what they're doing. So the FBI went into a further investigation from that. Have they identified the child? I don't see any information from that, but I do want to let you know about him, about this case, and about just the disturbing trends of what people are looking at. And I'm going to bet you that there's a lot of people, even if you lived in Michigan, who may have not heard about this guy or known about this images or live near that park where he's dropping USB drives and even know that he got arrested. Because unless you catch that news clip at that moment, you won't know. And that's the other reason that I bring these up. Lots of these that I bring up are during the first arrest of these guys. They're not in the system yet. They just got busted. But look at how much stuff they already have and are sharing and communicating. So I appreciate you being here to see the exposure of another top child predator, spotlight number 2. Thank you for being here. And thank you for making sure justice is served daily. Goodbye, everybody.